Hello class, we're about to start section 1.3, problem solving. Our objectives: solve problems using the organization of the four-step problem solving process. Polly has 4 steps in problem solving. Step 1, understand the problem. You need to read the problem several times. The first reading can serve as an overview. In the second reading, write down what information is given and determine exactly what the problem requires you to find. Be sure to evaluate the given information in a deliberate manner. Ask questions such as, is there enough information given to solve the problem? Is the given information relevant to the problem solution, or are some facts not necessarily to arrive at a solution? Okay, now we scroll down here to step 2. It says devise a plan. The plan for solving a problem might involve one or more of these problem-solving strategies. Use inductive reasoning to look for a pattern. Make a systematic list or table. Use estimation to make an educated guess at the solution. Check the guess against the problem's conditions and work backwards to eventually determine a solution. Try expressing the problem more simply and solve a simpler problem. Use trial and error. List the given information in a chart or table. Try making a sketch or a diagram to illustrate the problem. Relate the problem to similar problems that you have seen before. Try applying the procedures used to solve the similar problem to the new one. Look for a catch if the answer seems too obvious. Perhaps the problem involves some sort of trick question deliberately intended to lead the problem solver in the wrong direction. Use the given information to eliminate possibilities. Use common sense. Step 3, carry out the plan and solve the problem. Step 4, look back and check the answer. The answer should satisfy the conditions of the problem. The answer should make sense and be reasonable. If this is not the case, recheck the method and any calculations. Perhaps there is an alternative way to arrive at a correct solution. Now we start our first example. It says a man purchased 5 shirts, each at the same discount price. How much did he pay for them? Now we have to understand the problem. The first thing that we see here is that 5 shirts were purchased. So we will put down 5 shirts were purchased. Now, step 2, we want to devise a plan. Now, we cannot devise a plan. And I'm saying as far as getting the final answer here because we do not have any prices. We don't have the original price, we don't have the discount rate, and we don't have the discount price. So all we could say here when devising a plan is we would take 5 multiplied by the discount price. And this is as much as we could do with this problem. So we're done. Now we go to the second example. It says applying the 4-step process. By paying $100 cash up front and the balance at $20 a week, how long will it take to pay for a bicycle costing $680? Now, I took the liberty of typing in some of the phrases we need to use here. When we understand the problem, the first thing we need to know is the cost of the bike, because that's what we're trying to pay for, just $680. Next, we want to write down the amount that was paid in cash, which was $100. And finally, the weekly payments, which is $20 a week. Now, this right here would determine how many weeks it would take you to pay this bicycle off. Now, we come down here to devise a plan. Now, when you devise a plan, it's not necessarily you writing down numbers and showing your mathematical work. What this is you're basically expressing how you're going to do the problem. So for instance, because we have the initial price, I would say that the first thing we would need to do is take this 680 and subtract 100 from it. And that would give us the amount that we owe. Then to find out how many weeks that we would need to pay for it, we would take that amount after subtracting the 680 and 100 and then divide that amount by 20. And that would tell us the amount of weeks that we have to pay. Now, I wrote it out here. And so now you could copy this down. You could copy it at your leisure. And you could pause the video and copy it down. Now, we come down here to step 3. It says carry out the plan and solve the problem. Now, we're just going to carry out what we just talked about. We would take the $680 minus the $100 that was paid. That will leave us $580. Now we would take this $580 and we'll want to set this up as unit analysis. So we would take every week you would pay $20. So we could divide this over 1. So the dollar signs will simplify out. We have 580 over 20, and this would be in weeks. Now when you divide 580 divided by 20, your answer would be 29. So it would take 29 weeks to pay this bike off. Now it says here, look back and check your answer. Now the fastest way to check your answer is this here. Take the amount of weeks, which is 29, and multiply it by what you are paying each week, which is 20. 29 times 20 is 580. So it's $580. And you will add the initial amount that you paid, which was 100. So that gave you $680, which was the original cost of the bike. So it is correct. Now we come to our next example. It says solving a problem by making a list. You are an engineer programming the automatic gate for a 50-cent toll. The gate accepts exact change only and does not accept pennies. How many coin combinations must you program the gate to accept? Now, step 1, understand the problem. Now, first of all, we know that the total change, excluding pennies, must equal 50 cents. Now that's the first thing we know. The total change, excluding pennies, must equal 50 cents. Now step 2, we have to devise a plan. It says we want to make a list of all coin combinations. I'm going to put combos for combinations and start with the largest to the smaller value. Now, we're using this table here. Yes, I took the liberty of scrolling down to show the table that we're going to use in order to solve this problem. So first thing, we start off with the $half. We know $1/2 is 50 cents, so we don't need any quarters, dimes, or nickels. So now this is basically the only coin combination for the $half. So we could go down with all these zeros here. you should have about 11 spaces here. Okay, so that took care of the half dollar. Now we go to the quarters. 2 quarters, we don't need any dimes or nickels. So we use 1 quarter. We can use 2 dimes, 1 nickel. Say we use another quarter. We can use 1 quarter, 1 dime, 3 nickels. Use another quarter. No dimes. And what's that? 5 nickels. Okay, now we've exhausted all of our quarters. So we're done with the quarters. So all the rest of the quarters would be zeros. Now we come here to our dimes. We know 5 dimes makes 50 cents. So it'll be no nickels. We do 4 dimes, then that means it'll be 2 nickels. We do 3 dimes, that means it'll be 4 nickels. We do 2 dimes, that means it'll be 6 nickels. We do 1 dime, it'll be 8 nickels. We do 0 dimes, it'll be 10 nickels. And these are all the combinations. Now, when we get down here to step 4, step 4 says look back and check the answer. And what we could do is we'll go straight across. This is 50 cents, this is 50 cents, this is 50 cents, and so on. So now, we go here to the next example. It says here, solve a problem by using a diagram. 4 runners are in a 1-mile race: Maria, Aretha, Thelma, and Debbie. Points are awarded only to the women finishing first and second. The first place winner gets more points than the second place winner. How many different arrangements of first and second place winners are possible? Use a tree diagram to help find the solution. First of all, we have 4 runners. We have Maria, Aretha, Thelma, and also Debbie. Now we know we have 4 runners and only first and second place gets points. Okay, now with step 2, we want to devise a plan. Now, when we devise this plan, remember, there are 4 different runners here and we want to do a tree diagram. So what we could do is we could use 1 as an example to carry out the rest. So first place, let's use Maria. Now if Maria is first, then there's 3 possibilities for a second. We could have Aretha. We could have Thelma and Debbie. And this is how it will be written. We have Maria first, Aretha second, Maria, then Thelma, and Maria, and Debbie. Now, this could work for all 4 participants. So, we have our plan. We list the participant, and we list the other 3 possibilities for second place. And I should have put second place here. Okay, now, we scroll down to step 3. Now, step 3 is going to be quite long, but we'll get through it. We have Maria, Aretha, Debbie, and Thelma. We need to do our tree diagrams for each one.